Hello and welcome back to YNAB's Countdown to Christmas, or Counting Down to Christmas with YNAB. Take your pick. We are on week number 7. If you're just joining us, we started with week 10, determining your spending limits, what sort of activities you'll be participating in over the holidays. That's including in the United States, Thanksgiving and Christmas, and possibly New Year as well. So that was week 10. Week 9 was to start your 34-day free YNAB trial. If you've never heard of YNAB, it is a financial platform that allows you to keep your finances easily organized with a minimal investment of time. And YNAB stands for You Need a Budget. I have used it for, at this point, I guess, close to a decade, or very either right over a decade, for our household expenses, and tracks them very easily, very quickly, and very well. So that was week 9. Now, week 8, I apologize. It was a grace week. We had a lot going on in our home, and we simply did not have space to participate in the countdown that week. So I do apologize. However, we are now in week 7, and that is going to be setting up our structure. So we are actually going to go to YNAB and get into the nuts and bolts of what you can do to adapt your spending plan to include Christmas, and a couple of tips and tricks within that to help you plan for next holiday season, to really understand where those expenses were in your situation and what they went toward. If you simply need the number, how much did we spend for the holiday season? That is a number that you can easily extract. If you need to know within that number, what the heck did we spend it on? Well, this is a way to do that. This is a way to see purchase by purchase how those funds are being spent. So we're going to take a look at YNAB real quick here, and I guess it would help if I shared my screen. Here we go. Okay. Here is YNAB. And bear with me just a second while I do a little behind the scenes here. Okay, so if you saw our video on budgets for folks who don't like budgets, you may be familiar with our structure of fixed, frequent, fun, and future. That's an easy way to set up your YNAB so that you can easily track your day-to-day spending. And so for Christmas, what we're going to do is we're going to, when I say Christmas, I mean the whole holiday season. So that's just how I refer to it. We're going to add an entire category group, and we are going to call that Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year. Now, if you don't celebrate Christmas, or you celebrate some holiday other than that, more power to you. I'm a Christian, and so my celebration during December is going to be Christmas. So at this point, you have a couple decisions to make. You have a new category group. It's in your spending plan. And now you can decide how detailed you want to be. Do you simply need to know what you spent on gifts and what you spent on food? Or do you need to know how much you spent on a certain, on your Thanksgiving meal or on your Christmas dinner? Do you need it broken down any further than that? So we're going to start simple, and then we're going to add a few more layers, and you can make those decisions as far as how deep a layer you're going to be. Also, if you have been watching our videos, this video has quite a few steps. So this video will be somewhat lengthier and a little more detailed than our normal length of videos. So here we go. when you drill down on the category group, that's where you can add categories. You'll see under fix, there's categories here that have already been added. Since we just added the Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year group, there's no subcategories under there. So a category to start with, excuse me, let's just start with food and gifts. And so when you have those in place, what you can do on your day-to-day spending is if you spend money on food for Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year, you'll enter it with that category if you're going to parse it out from your regular food budget. Gifts the same way. And so that's going to have a running total of where you are. Now, for YNAB, you can also go a little more detailed and get some real specific data on exactly where your expenses are going for the season. So one way to do that is to add more specific categories. So let's start with food, for example. We could specify Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner, and New Year's dinner, or whatever you want to call it. And then if you did that, you could delete the general food category. For gifts, you could do the same thing. You could have, you could parse it out to friends, family, coworkers, neighbors, or you could simply put, family, or just leave it at gifts if you just need the aggregate number. But if you do need a bit more breakdown, you can add categories such as friends, family, neighbors, coworkers. Now, if you want to go any deeper than that, specifically within probably your family, you could put specific family members and what you're planning as far as an amount. If you don't want to get that detailed, there's no need to. Where this comes in handy is planning for the next year. If your expenses run reasonably the same year over year, you can use this information after Christmas to decide what next Christmas may look like, because you have the actual numbers of actually where your funds were spent. And you also have the information if you went under or over, where were those areas? Where do you need to make those adjustments? So let's take a look at this in real time. Now, no shaming on the amounts here, because I've got $1,000 set aside to allocate for all of these. And so the numbers I put in may look a little funny if I put in a small amount for, any of these categories. It's not reflective of what you or I may really spend. It's just to do the math. And so with $1,000, we're going to keep the math simple. So if some of the categories look a little larger or smaller than you would like, that's fine. We're just test driving it. Okay. So here we go. All right. So let's say for family, let's put a good sized chunk in there. Let's put $450 and see how that looks. I am actually typing incorrectly. All right, here we go. 450. And coworkers, let's put in 40. And neighbors, let's put in 40. Also, I neglected to add in here postage and shipping. And that could include your Christmas cards, shipping gifts to other locales. Let's put $50 in there for that. We've got $420 left to allocate. Friends, let's do 50. New Year's dinner, let's do 100. And Christmas, let's do 125. And Thanksgiving, let's do 140. And we've got $5 of wiggle room there. I'm gonna delete this gifts category, keep it simple. We can put in a category for oops, or we can just let the $5 ride. But YNAB best practices is to put an oops category in there and assign it just in case. There we go. We've got a zero-based budget. And let's take a look at our account. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Bear with me just a second. Oops. Okay, here we go. I've got some sort of editing tool that looks really fun, but I don't want to explore it right now. So we're just going to go to our checking account real quick. And we're going to simulate some purchases and see what that looks like and see where we can find the data that we need for next year once these are in our register. Okay. So, all right. So if you're in Texas and you're shopping for holiday meals, it's likely you're going to go to HEB. So let's just put the Thanksgiving dinner in there. 140. Okay. And let's say you went to Academy and you got your friends. Let's say you got them a t-shirt for $20. And let's say you went back to Academy and you got them a thermos for $10. And just for fun, let's say you went to Kohl's and you got for family, let's say you got some pajamas for mom, $40. And let's say you got for the kid, you got a puzzle for $15. And still at Kohl's. And I know you would go through the checkout one time, but this is for demonstration purposes, and we need some multiple entries to see how they would look. For kid 2, let's say you got a toy for $15, and so you went to Amazon for your coworkers for the white elephant. Number 1, and you spent $20. And let's say you forgot something and you went back there and you got another white elephant, another 10. Okay, let's see how much we have here. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 for family, 2 for coworkers, and 2 for friends. Okay, so here's where the power of the reflect area comes in. When you go back to your spending plan and you can see that you spent $270, it will give you a breakdown of what under Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year you have spent. It'll show you right here, but it's kind of hard to see the detail, and it's also kind of hard to tell for whom it was for. So when you can close this and you can go over to the reflect area, and it's going to give you a spending breakdown. All right, so here's our $270, and it's categorized out in this pie chart. So 52% of it went to Thanksgiving dinner, and 11% of it went to friends, and 11% went to coworkers, and 26% went to family. And that's great, but what the heck was it? So you click on the area of the pie chart, and it'll also bring up the details. So, okay, for friends, we spent $30. We spent it on a t-shirt and a thermos. Okay, for coworkers, we spent $30. We spent it on 2 white elephant gifts. Okay, for family, we spent $70, and that meant 3 separate gifts. Okay, we got a kid toy for kid number 2, we got a puzzle for kid number 1, and we got our mom some pajamas. Okay, great. So that can show you by category. It also gives you a bar chart over here so that you can just see the big picture. You put it to groups, it's going to just categorize everything under the category group and just show you spent $270 on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. It's not going to break it down. But if you click back to categories, it'll show you where. So just clicking on these areas of the pie chart, it's going to show you the details of those spending choices. And so that's the data that you can use moving forward for the next year to get actual reality of what you spent. Where did it go? What was it spent on? And so you can be as general or as detailed as you want. It just depends on what numbers you need. You know, if you wanted to hit a certain number for your immediate family members or for your coworkers, this will help you track that and have real numbers so that moving forward, you've got information that you can use to plan for the next holiday season. And, you know, we know that maybe things aren't the same year over year, but you have some sense of what you spent this year, and you can use it moving forward. Okay, so whoop, there I am. Okay. Alrighty, so that's it for today. As I said, this one was just a smidge longer, but I appreciate your patience. And let me know in the comments, have you set up your YNAB? Have you set up your free trial? Have you set up your structure for your Christmas, your Thanksgiving, your holiday spending? How detailed did you get? And if there's something that I didn't cover within this video, let me know what that was. Let me follow up and cover that base for you. This channel is about helping motivated individuals win with money by helping them to learn the YNAB platform. That's what we're all about here, and that's what we're focusing on. So I hope this serves you. Our next video will be week 6. Help me. Yes, week 6. And we'll get more into the day-to-day of the tracking of your expenses. In the meantime, please remember that resources tracked diligently stretch further. And please take time each day to make a joyful noise to the Lord. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time.